subscribe.
You scared the shit out of me, boys. Wonderful.
Hello, this is Krays speaking. Though I cannot be with you physically, I want you to know I am with you in spirit.
They wanted to be gangsters. They set out to be gangsters.
Ronnie and Reggie Kray, two of the most infamous criminals of all time. Legends. Their fame was built on a fearsome reputation and mythical celebrity-like status.
At one time, you couldn't tell them apart. You know, it's only as the years went on, Ronnie's drinking and that, and the pills he was taking, like, you know, for his paranoia, that his face got fatter. And then you could tell them apart.
As they got older, I think Reggie was the saner of the two. Reggie got thinner and very anxious looking. You could see he was living on his nerves. Ronnie didn't live in the real world at all.
A strange thing was then, even then, Ronnie was like the stronger personality, really, I suppose, more forward, whereas Reggie was a bit more laid back. But even then, and that's exactly how it was as they got older, the same thing. But Ronnie was the leading light even then. Not very bright in some ways, but very forward.
The first time he set eyes on Ronnie, it was obvious to the policeman who was eventually to jail the twins that he was playing the part of an American gangster.
It was a summer's evening, and I realised that a car had drawn up immediately outside the door and looked outside. It's a big American-type car, and a guy stepped out of the car, put with his hand in his pocket, as though he had a gun in his pocket, and he sort of swept the street, looking up and down and making sure that there was no one inside, and then gave a signal, and the back door opened, and out stepped Ronnie Kray. And I was amazed because he was dressed for all the world like a 1930s Chicago gangster. He had a long, long cashmere coat that reached to his ankles, tied in a loose belt at the waist. His hair was greased and parted, and he wore his glasses. And then he swept across the pavement and into the pub, and he looked at me like Al Capone without his fedora.
The twins were arrested in the dawn raid, and for the Kray associates, it was only a matter of time before they too were caught in Nipper Reed's net.
I was surrounded by police officers in unmarked police cars. Must have been about 15 of them.
They appeared out of nowhere and swooped on me, and guns and stuff like pointing at you and in your head and all that, and arrested me and took me to Tintagel House.
Nipper Reed was sitting behind a big desk, but behind Nipper Reed on a board was all the photographs of the firm, everybody, and associates. And he was very polite, very amicable, and he said, look, I know you weren't involved. He said, but tell us about it.
Nipper Reed's aim was to turn each firm member to give evidence against the twins. After 9 months on remand, the Kray twins and 8 of their associates, including their brother Charlie, went on trial for the murders of George Cornell and Jack McVitie. On the 7th of January 1969, Court Number 1 of the Old Bailey became the focus of the nation.
We'd been that long on remand, it was almost a relief when it started. And we were all in one van, it was just us. And the van would go from Brixton to Wandsworth, or Wandsworth to Brixton, and then to the Old Bailey. Motorcycle outriders, helicopter. This was like a trial that nobody had ever seen before.
They have wide interests in the theatre and in entertainment, and they're well known for their fundraising work for charity. Up to a few years ago, they were well-known West End theatre first-nighters and hosts to some of the newer big names in show business.
It was a great stage for them. The one thing that people, I think, underestimate about both Ron and Reg Kray was they were geniuses at public relations. They were good at presenting themselves in court as gangsters. It's what they were, and they were proud of it.
As they came out, I thought, oh my God, you are still thinking you're on show. which they always like to be, you're still playing to an audience. Hey, look at me. You know, we might be in the Old Bailey, but we're going to get off this.
March 1969. Ron and Reg Kray were found guilty of murder at the Old Bailey. Mr. Justice Melford Stevenson, sentencing them to life imprisonment, told them, "I'm not going to waste words on you. In my view, society has earned a rest from your activities, and I recommend that you be held for at least 30 years.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please join our Facebook group. It's called Krays Crime Lords of London. We're a friendly moderated group with over 1,000 Kray and other celebrated gangster videos available for view. There's also thousands of images in the photos sections. The link for the group is in the YouTube description section. I hope we see you there soon.
Leave a like and subscribe.